Some prayers are never spoken out loud. Some tears only God can see. Tonight, if your heart feels heavy, stay till the end. Because this song may become your prayer. Midnight shadows on my wall, empty room, I hear you call. Hands are shaking, faith feels weak. Still I kneel, too tired to speak. Every burden in my chest, every fear I never confessed, falling softly with my tears. You were there through all these years. And when nobody understands my pain, your gentle whisper calls my name. Silent tears before God, falling like the rain. In the quiet of this broken heart, you hold every pain. When the world walks far away, you stay close beside me. Silent tears before God are never unseen. Maybe you smiled all day, while hiding battles nobody noticed. But heaven noticed. God collects every silent tear and turns sorrow into healing. I remember childhood prayers, simple faith without despair. Now the road feels cold and long, still your mercy keeps me strong. I don't need 1,000 words, you can hear what silence holds. Through the trembling of my soul, your compassion makes me whole. Even when my strength is gone tonight, your love becomes my carries me. Silent tears before God never fall in vain. Every wound and every sorrow you can heal again. So I lay my soul before you, nothing left to hide. Silent tears before God become rivers of life. If you're listening with tears in your eyes, don't stop praying. God is still working in the silence. Command amen if this prayer touched your heart, and share this worship with someone who needs hope tonight. He wrote prayers in a notebook, but never showed anyone. Every page carried tears, every line carried pain. Then one night, everything changed. Old wooden chair by the window light, sleepless soul in the middle of night, dust on the Bible beside the bed, too many thoughts inside his head, street lights fading beyond the rain. He keeps hiding invisible pain, writing prayers no one will read, asking heaven for one small piece. No applause, no crowded room, just broken whispers in the gloom. Heaven never ignored those letters, every tear became a song. Even in the coldest midnight, mercy held him all along. When his faith fell weak and fragile, grace was breathing through the dark. Heaven never ignored those letters, God was listening to his heart. Some people cry loudly, others slowly disappear in silence. But God notices both, especially the ones pretending to be strong. Morning came, but the ache remained. Coffee cold and the sky still gray. Phone untouched for another day. Trying hard just to look okay. Mama's picture beside the frame. He still whispers her name in pain, wondering if prayers can survive when hope feels barely alive. Then a small flame touched the room, like sunlight breaking through the blue. Heaven never ignored those letters, every word was safely kept. All the nights he thought God left him, angels gathered while he wept. Through the trembling and the questions, love was closer than the storm. Heaven never ignored those letters, grace was keeping his heart warm. Every unanswered prayer, every lonely night, every shattered dream you saw, every hidden fight. Now the tears become rivers, now the wounds become light, because mercy was walking beside him. The whole time, heaven never ignored those letters. Not a single line was lost. Love was writing back in silence, even through the pain and cross. Now the sunrise fills the window. Fear no longer owns his soul. Heaven never ignored those letters. God was there through it all. Maybe your prayers feel unanswered today, but silence does not mean abandonment. Keep praying, keep believing. Heaven is still listening. If this song touched your heart, comment, God hears me.
At 2:17 in the morning, the city was asleep. But one man sat alone under a broken streetlight, asking God a question he was afraid to say out loud. Do you still see me? Cold wind moving through empty streets, worn out shoes on tired feet, old backpack resting by his side, filled with dreams that slowly died. Cars pass by, but nobody knows how much pain one person holds. He stares at heaven through the rain, trying hard not to break again. And in the silence of the night, a distant church bell came alive. Under the broken streetlight, God was standing near, closer than the city noise, closer than his fear. Every scar and every failure, every hopeless night, heaven met a lonely soul under the broken streetlight. Sometimes God doesn't meet us in crowds. Sometimes he waits in forgotten places, in lonely bus stations, empty rooms, or beneath broken streetlights. He remembers when his father said, hold your faith when hope feels dead. But years went by and storms grew strong. Now he wonders where he belongs. Pocket Bible worn and torn, pages faded, edges worn. Still one verse caught his tired eyes. Mercy shines before sunrise. Under the broken streetlight, grace was falling down. Not through wealth or perfect answers, but peace
streets without a sound. Every tear became a prayer, every wounded doorway. Heaven wrapped its arms around him under the broken streetlight. He didn't suddenly become fearless. The storm didn't disappear overnight. But for the first time in years, he stopped feeling alone. Even shattered souls can sing. Even shattered souls can sing. Even deserts bloom in spring. Even deserts bloom in spring. Even hearts that lost their fire can still rise a little higher. A little higher. If your love can find me here, in this dust and all these tears, then maybe hope is not too far. Maybe grace still knows my name. Under the broken streetlight, a new prayer was born. Not a fear but quiet courage, waiting for the dawn. Now the rain feels less like sorrow. Now the sky feels wide, because God still walks beside us under broken streetlights. If you feel forgotten tonight, remember this: God still visits broken places. And sometimes the darkest street becomes the place where healing begins. Come in. I'm still holding on. If this song spoke to your heart,
every night she climbed the rooftop alone, above the noise, above the pretending. Nobody knew she was fighting silent battles, until one whisper changed everything. City lights blur through tired eyes, cold blue moon and silent skies. She pulls her jacket against the wind, hiding storms beneath her skin. Bills unpaid on the kitchen floor, dreams she doesn't chase anymore. One old photo inside her hand, a life she thought she'd understand. And somewhere beyond the sirens below, a gentle voice began to glow. From the rooftop in the midnight air, God was calling through her despair. Not with thunder, not with fire, but a whisper lifting her higher. When the world became too loud to breathe, He spoke peace into the grief. From the rooftop in the pouring rain, hope was alive again. Sometimes healing doesn't arrive like a miracle. Sometimes it arrives quietly, like warmth returning to frozen hands. Train sounds echo through the dark, like restless thoughts inside her heart. She remembers Sunday songs, wondering where her faith went wrong. Tears fall softly on concrete stone. For years she carried pain alone, but the stars above refuse to fade, like heaven saying, don't be afraid. From the rooftop in the midnight mercy found her, standing there, not because her faith was strong, but because love waited all along. Every shattered prayer she cried, every hidden wound inside, heaven heard them through the rain and called her name again. She thought she was talking to the night, but heaven had been listening the entire time. Even ashes hold a spark, even lost hearts leave a mark, even broken songs can rise like morning sunlight through the sky. If your grace can reach this far, past the wounds and all the scars, then maybe I am not too gone, maybe I can still belong. From the rooftop in the midnight air, fear no longer held her there. Now the skyline feels alive, like hope itself survived. Through the silence and the rain, love rebuilt her soul again, and the whisper she once heard became the strength to live. Maybe tonight you feel invisible, standing alone with questions no one hears. But God still speaks in quiet places. If this song touched your soul, comment, God still sees me. If this song touched your soul, comment, God still sees me. Outside room 214, a pair of small shoes sat quietly by the hospital door. A father bowed his head in prayer, trying to stay strong while his world was falling apart. Fluorescent lights and silent halls, late night echoes through the walls, coffee stains on wrinkled clothes, hours moving painfully slow. Machines keep singing fragile songs. He whispers, Lord, please hold on. Hands together, eyes shut tight, searching heaven through the night. And though his voice could barely stand, he still placed fear inside God's hands. Beside the hospital door, hope was breathing softly, not in loud miraculous signs, but peace in the unseen. Every trembling prayer he prayed, every tear upon the floor, God stayed close through every moment beside the hospital door. Faith is not pretending everything is okay. Faith is choosing to pray while your heart is breaking. Tiny drawing taped nearby,
crayon stars and crooked skies, little words that simply read, "Daddy, don't stop believing." Rain keeps tapping window glass, nurses quietly walking past. Still he sings a trembling hymn, though the night feels cold and dim. Beside the hospital door, Grace was standing with him, holding every shattered thought, too painful just to mention. When exhaustion filled his soul and fear became a war, heaven wrapped him in compassion beside the hospital door.
He didn't receive all the answers that night, but he received enough strength to face tomorrow.
When my strength becomes too small, be the voice that helps me call. When my knees can barely stand, still keep holding my weak hands. Even sorrow has an end, even broken hearts can mend, and every midnight soaked in tears will one day see the morning. Beside the hospital door, the sunrise slowly entered, not erasing every scar, but reminding him he mattered. Now the fear no longer rules, now the silence feels restored, because God never left his family beside the hospital door.
To everyone carrying pain quietly tonight, God still walks through waiting rooms, broken homes, and sleepless nights. If this song touched your heart, comment, "God, give me strength."
The bus station was almost empty. One flickering light, one tired soul, one unanswered prayer. He missed the last bus home. But maybe that night was never meant to be an accident.
Backpack leaning on plastic chairs, cold night moving through the air, phone battery dying slow, no place left for him to go. Neon signs begin to fade, rainwater fills the broken pavement. He counts the coins inside his hand, wondering how life slipped from his plans. And while the city kept rushing by, he whispered softly to the sky. At the last bus stop tonight, God was sitting near, not with answers wrapped in gold, but peace that calmed his fear. When the road felt far too heavy and his hope felt almost gone, Mercy waited in the silence at the last bus stop. Sometimes God slows our journey, not to punish us, but to speak to us in places we would normally rush past. Yeah. Old man sweeping nearby floors, softly humming worship songs. He smiles and says, "Young man, breathe. Storms don't last eternally. Steam rises from paper tea, tiny warmth in misery." And for the first time in many weeks, his heart no longer felt empty. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, yeah. Hey, yeah. Was moving gently through stranger songs and quiet words that healed him unexpectedly. Every burden on his shoulders, every tear he tried to hide, God was already waiting there at the last bus stop tonight. The miracle wasn't money, it wasn't fame or sudden success. The miracle was this: he finally felt seen again. If heaven can't meet me here among the noise and all my fears, then maybe broken roads still lead to places grace wants me to see. Even tired hearts can heal, even numb souls learn to feel, and every delayed road in life may still carry holy purpose at the last bus stop tonight. The dawn began to glow, not every question answered yet, but enough strength to move forward. Now the city feels less lonely, now tomorrow feels alive, because God still walks beside us at the last bus stop tonight. Maybe your journey feels delayed right now. Maybe you feel forgotten in life's waiting room. But God still meets people in unexpected places. Come and God is guiding me, if the song spoke to your soul.